Alright everyone, RJ here. Welcome back to the channel. And today I'll be discussing the Samsung Galaxy S23. Oh, wait a minute. This is the Galaxy S22 Ultra. Now, they look pretty much the same, don't they, on the exterior? Maybe a few cosmetic changes on, the build. Maybe just enough where your cases from last year won't fit. Stuff like that. You know how it is. Now, don't bash me in the comments because I don't own the 23 Ultra. I probably never will own that phone. And I'm going to explain why here in this video. Now, granted, this is upgrading from the 22 Ultra to the 23 Ultra. If you got like a Galaxy S9, S10, S20, maybe even an S21 if you want to upgrade to get the S Pen. Maybe like a Note 10, Note 20, whatever. But if you got an S22 Ultra, don't throw your phone away and give them your phone just for the very minor upgrades they gave the 23 from the 22. And I'll be explaining all of that here in this video and why I'm not just going to give them my phone for a phone that just basically has very minor upgrades. Now, I will be discussing mainly two upgrades or two things that I've seen in videos. Because I've watched a lot of YouTube videos between the 22 Ultra, 23 Ultra, and stuff like that. And, it's amazing to me that just a year ago, that when this phone here released, it was the best thing since sliced bread. It was the perfect phone, and it was just this, that, and everything else. And, I said the same thing, and I still hold true to what I say. I rated this as the best flagship phone of 2022, and I stand by that even till now. And that's why I think it would be a complete waste, and a complete waste of money to upgrade from if you got this phone to the newest, latest, and greatest or whatever. So anyway, I have, like I said, I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube about the newest Galaxy. But like I said, this phone came out a year ago, and back then when it came out, it was this, that, and the other. 12 months later, toss it aside. It's yesterday's news. It overheats. It's got battery problems. It don't this and this, and it's like that every time that a new phone comes out. Just because there's a few very minor things that are upgraded, it's way better than the previous model. So I'll be focusing on two different things, that may spill over. I'll try to keep it as short as possible. But first is the processor, okay? You're going from the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 to the 8 Gen 2. Now, some will say the 8 Gen 1, it was, a bit choppy here and there. It wasn't the greatest processor. It had very bad overheating issues, which I want to stop and say, if a little bit of a phone heating up bothers you that bad, I don't know if we're getting too spoiled, or if we want everything to be just perfect with a phone where there's no problems, there's no this, there's no that. But I'm going to tell you, a phone's going to heat up if you push it hard enough. This phone, does it get hot? Yes. It gets the hottest whenever you're playing games and if you're using the camera a lot. I will say that. If you're recording a lot of video, yes, the phone does get hot. If you're watching but if you're watching videos, if you're doing your normal everyday task, the phone might get a little bit warm. If you put a case on it, you probably won't even feel that heat from the phone, okay? So most heating issues come from extensive recording and, of course, playing games. Other than that, it's very manageable. And like I said, if a little bit of your phone getting hot upsets you that bad, you must have no worries in the world, okay? And performance-wise, while the 8 Gen 2 might be a slight bump in performance, I doubt that the average person is really going to see a difference just between the 8 Gen 1 and the 8 Gen 2. So no, I don't think it's worth upgrading because of the processor and the phone running a little bit cooler. I don't see it. Next is the camera. Okay, they're touting a 200 megapixel camera. Sounds good, okay? But there is a toggle that you got to press for that 200 megapixel. Just like this S22 has a toggle for the 108 megapixel. And I don't doubt that the cameras have been tweaked in the S23 Ultra to be a little bit better than the S22 Ultra. But there again, they're offering $500 trade-in for your S22 Ultra. If you want to get a 512 gig, mine is the 12 gig, 512 gigabyte model. They start you at 8 gig 256, which at least they did get rid of the 128 and starting you off with the higher storage amount. But 8 gigs of RAM, okay, come on. So if you want the 12 gigabytes of RAM, of course you're going to pay extra. If you want the 512 gig, then it's going to be even more than that, like $1,400, something like that. So they give you $500 for your 22 Ultra, $1,400. You're still looking at quite a bit of money just for a slight tweak in the camera department. You can also record in 8K at 30 frames per second. This does 8K at 24 frames per second. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say this here. 8K is a gimmick. All right, in my opinion, if you're recording 8K, all you're doing is basically wasting your storage. Okay, 8K in my opinion, nah. Front cameras, both of them do 4K, 30 and 60 as well, so not much of a change there. Maybe some few other things because I don't have the phone in hand, so I can't say what each phone has different in the settings and all like that. But for the main thing is the 200 megapixel camera. Is it worth spending that much more money for a minor camera bump? To me, no, I don't see it. Battery life, okay, some will say terrible battery life, you can't get through a day, it's just horrible. Well, here is a screenshot or two, okay? This is from my last battery charge. You can see the chart there. You can see my screen on time. You can see how long it lasted and the percentage that I, powered the phone off to recharge it. Not too bad, okay? And that's using it normally, okay? Now, I wasn't really using the camera a whole lot. Now, the camera will drain quite fast if you are using the camera, or if you're playing a lot of games. Yes, your battery will drain pretty quick. I've been watching a lot of college basketball from my phone, with Bluetooth or just from the speakers, around 50% brightness, and the battery holds up well. The phone really doesn't get warm. Doing that, watch a lot of YouTube videos, stuff like that, getting on social media, browsing around there for a while, and the battery holds up fine. So my battery life is overall good. It's not excellent. It ain't the best, okay? But it's not as bad as many are portraying this battery life to be, okay? But other than that, I just really don't see where a slight bump in the camera is worth, I'm just going to throw out a number, $700 extra to upgrade. I don't see where a slight bump in performance is worth $700-800 to upgrade. Okay? Battery life might be just a little bit better. I don't see that as enough to spend $700-800 to upgrade to a phone and gave it a few minor bumps in performance. Sure, the cameras might be tweaked to be a little bit crisper, a little bit sharper, but is it worth spending that much more to buy a phone that's basically what you had last year? Now, like I said, you got an S21 Ultra. Great phone. Mine was excellent. but I wanted an S Pen. Do I use it all the time? No, but it's there when I want it. So if you want to upgrade from S21 to a phone with an S Pen, then yeah, the prices really haven't dropped a whole lot on this phone enough. So I would say go with an S23 Ultra, go with the latest phone. If you got a older Galaxy, an older Note, yeah, I could see where it'd be definitely would be worth upgrading to the 23 Ultra. But that's just my thoughts from what I've seen and from what I've heard. Very, very small upgrades, and they're giving you nothing for your previous phone and still charging a premium for their phone. So anyway, so all I want to say, wasn't very popular, but I'm going to throw it out there because I just feel like that it should be said. But if it was helpful and informative, hit the like button. If you're watching this and you're not a subscriber, you may not want to subscribe because I am going to give you the honest truth from where I see it. But if that's what you want to hear, then subscribe. Hit that bell for all notifications of future videos. That'd be appreciated. Y'all have a good one, and thanks for watching.